Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about Call to Arms Panzer Elite. Now, I don't normally make videos that are reviews of a game, but today I want to do a quick review that I will come back to and give you my thoughts to. Now, for full discretion on this, I did get a copy of the game from the devs, and I want to thank them for the opportunity. But on the flip side of this, I do want to talk about where the game's at and where I would like to see it go. Alright? So, without further ado, let's check it out. When you first pull up the game, you're going to notice a tiger sitting on top of some rubble with some billowing smoke behind it, and it doesn't take long for you to realize the beauty that this game has in store. But beauty only goes so far. In terms of what you can do in this game, for starters, there's the Conquest, right? So in Conquest, you literally go through mission by mission, taking out strong points of enemies and a variety of different styles of missions, but ultimately you're facing the AI tanks, you're facing AI infantry that'll sit inside buildings and shoot rockets at you. You'll also be facing AT guns that are hidden in places that you can't quite see. Now, when aiming down your barrel, you can actually see them and it highlights whereabouts they are. However, the AI is not very smart in this regard. It has a long ways to go. A lot of times the infantry will be standing in the building and you'll blow up the building and there'll be one infantry sitting on the top floor, not doing anything, not fearing for his life, not realizing that all his comrades inside the building are completely and utterly destroyed. Also, AT guns, being that they are static by all accounts from what I can tell, they don't always react to you, and sometimes they will just stare at you and you'll kill their soldiers and it won't matter. They don't do much reacting. And again, with the tanks, sometimes they just one-shot you, which is crazy. When you're playing on Skirmish, you can find that it can be a little more difficult with a Panzer IV taking on another tank that is of similar likeness, for instance, the Sherman. So when you get instantly wiped one time in Skirmish, or I'm sorry, in Conquest, it could mean the end of your, well, time playing the game, or that Conquest mission, having to start over. And it also makes it difficult when you die and your friends are playing, because they will have to watch you play until the mission's over, which ultimately forces you to feel like, well, I might as well just run in there and get wrecked. So it does fall quite a bit short. In terms of soldiers running around, they kind of just move and it's not very interesting. And I would really like to see infantry on my side going in. And granted, I want to make it prefaced by saying that infantry have a long ways to go, yes, but there's a lot more that's going to be added to the game. So when I say potential, boy oh boy, do I mean potential. Also, in these missions, you have what's called the hangar, where you can look at all the different information for your tank. As you go on, you can unlock more tanks and use points, your MP manpower, towards the various tanks for different missions. So if you're trying to face the AI in Conquest, just remember that if you can't go through them, go around the back side of them. They have no idea what you're doing. There are still some challenges, but man, does the challenge really fade away when you find the exploit. We did that on our second mission, by the way. With that being said, let's look at why you more than likely will buy this game, and that would be for Skirmish. Now, Skirmish is where you end up taking 3 vehicles in Tier 1, 2, then 3. And the first tier, you go through your progressions of capturing points with the 3 vehicles. When one vehicle goes down, you immediately transfer to another vehicle until all your vehicles are depleted, in which case you come back to the battlefield with a new set of vehicles. You have 3 different tiers to choose from, and when you switch to the next level up, you can then use medium armor, and then finally the last thing is heavy armor. I will talk a little bit more about this in a little bit. However, that is how it operates. Now, the main thing when you're on in Skirmish, you would go for a single capture point, or you can go for a 2 capture point, depending on what the teams decide to go against. Now, as of right now, you can only play with 2v2 or 1v1, but for now, it's that way because there was an issue at launch with 3 capture points and 3v3. But the last thing that matters is the maps. There's only 3 maps currently right now. It's Bion, Mortain, and Bocage. Again, there's going to be a lot that gets added to the game, but where it's at right now in the state that it's in, it's got a long ways to go. More maps would be definitely worth doing. There is no real progression that I can see in terms of playing Skirmish. So it's really just skill versus skill and the understanding of the game mechanics. So let's talk about that. Some of the issues that arose, I'm going to talk about those now, and then we'll get into the good stuff. So the first issue that was very apparent to all of us when we were playing was going through buildings. You feel like you're running through styrofoam buildings. It doesn't matter if you're in a big Tiger or if you're in an SDK, you just cut right through the buildings. Now, there is good and bad here, actually. The bad is that it's just not realistic, and it doesn't feel realistic in the slightest. But the good is, well, you're cutting through buildings, and the destruction is fantastic, and the beauty of all this destruction around you. So again, this is a bad, good thing, right? So like there is fun to this, but if you like the realism, you're not going to like that. The next thing that comes to mind is the amphibious vehicle. Okay, as we were playing, I ended up running through water thinking, oh crap, I'm gonna sink. My guys are gonna drown. Vehicle's gonna stall, the engine's gonna stall. Well, no. Water is completely irrelevant in the game right now. As you go through it, you're gonna notice there's no ripple in the water. You can probably hide in the water and surprise attack your enemy, which is kind of funny. But yeah, the water is just, it's as static gets, and that is just a feature that's unfortunate, right? So you start losing these immersion things when you're playing the game if you really focus on it. These things matter to me when you have such a beautiful environment, and so that's what kind of was hindering some of my enthusiasm for the game. Now, the other side of things that was even a bigger concern than these was probably arguably the worst thing. Well, second to worst. Okay, arguably the worst thing, or could be, is the recoil. There does not feel like recoil when you're firing, which is crazy. I did not catch it right away, and shame on me. But one of the guys that I was playing with, he ended up noticing, he's like, have you guys noticed there's like no recoil? And so every time you fire, you don't feel it. You don't feel it in the game. I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Once I realized that, it threw so much immersion out the window. So keep that in mind. Again, these are all things a work in progress, and this is where I say potential, right? Potato, right? The whole Sam ordeal here. It's the potential. There is potential. It's just lacking right now, and that brings me to my last point that I'm not a fan of, and that is the AI. We talked about it a little bit in Conquest, how there was an issue there, but this is just atrocious. You are driving to a point, and your guys are following you, and they're doing circles on the road a mile behind you. They are stuck in odd places. I don't know if it's the pathing. I don't know what the hell's going on, but they are just. It's like you have two puppies, they're following you, and then you go running, and they can't quite keep up with you. So they start doing circles and playing with their tails and attacking each other. That is the AI in this game. It is horrible. You need to go slow. You need to make sure they keep up with you, because if they don't, well, good luck. They're going to be off in La La Land and getting absolutely wrecked by the enemy. This happened multiple times. Now, there are times where somehow they come out with these clever shots where they're literally Terminators out there. They go from puppies to a T-series, whatever. Point still remains. They light you up, they blow you up, and they hit that perfect point in your armor that they hit the ammo rack and it's gone. Now, this is a problem. Again, these things are all immersion things. They can frustrate you when you're trying to capture a point, and it's like, man, I could really use you guys with me so we capture this point faster. But that just doesn't happen. And then on the flip side, you've got some of the, I would say this is a 50-50, good and bad. So when you're playing the game and you are shooting at things, you're going to notice whether or not you're going to be able to penetrate whatever is you're firing at based on what shows on your reticle. That's fine, that's cool, but there's nothing more infuriating than facing a Tiger. Why? Because you just beat the hell out of this thing and nothing happens. You might say, well, Pugger, that's realistic. I'm telling you right now. Even when you're breaking the armor off, you'll be sitting there as just a armor. You're just a clump of armor that's completely wrecked on the field, and you're holding a point. One of the guys I played with literally was facing 6 tanks, and he just sat there getting wrecked. He was getting hit. He finally blew up, but it didn't matter because he got the point, and we were able to rally on it. Me getting hit a bunch of times randomly, I don't know. it doesn't feel consistent when I'm shooting the armor points, but then there's this other portion of it when you get a nice shot, you hit that ammo rack, or people who know where strategically things are in a tank, or where to strategically fire to hit things in a tank, rather. That is rewarding, and I've had that happen several times where I made a key kill, which makes you feel like, dang, man, I knew exactly what I should have done. I handled it great. And other times you're like, why the hell isn't it blowing up? So yeah, you can take that as you will. This is where I'm saying this is more of a neutral point. So that brings me to my last portion of this, and that's going to be the good here. The good, when playing Skirmish especially, is the coordination with friends. I was coordinating with guys that I haven't played with in the past, and it was easy to come up with a plan like, hey, you take that point, I'll take this point. Do you need help? I can swing over there. I can switch to another vehicle and fly over there quickly. You have moments of, like, everybody's trying to get this common goal, and you achieve it, right? This is like any multiplayer game, is that clutch kill, that clutch assault or defense that wow, that worked, you know, oh, we got it, we did it at the very end. There is something special there, and you can feel it. The other thing, my biggest thing, and I already talked about it multiple times throughout this, the graphics are beautiful. Oh my goodness, it is such a gorgeous game. You're so close to the immersion. There's things that take you out of it, but when you're just driving along, you hear like the ricochets of armor piercing rounds just popping off the side of your tank, or seeing it fly up in the air. Like, that stuff is exciting. There is a nostalgia. Well, I don't want to say nostalgia, but the sounds are just amazing. I can't even imagine being in World War II and have gone through all the stuff that happened in war, and then hearing those sounds back and recognizing that, right? Like, I there's a part of me that wants to experience that, but I don't. You know, we all, come on, war. So yeah, there's some beautiful sounds in this game that bring up the immersion. Of course, like any game, when you first start it up, it's super loud, but man, it does such a good job encapsulating what you would expect in the sounds and the views, the beauty of this game. There's so much good in that regard. So, trying to think of what else. That sounds kind of bad, but listen, again, guys, this is a potential game. As of right now, I just simply can't recommend it, and I won't lie. Like, I'm thankful that the developers reached out. I'm thankful that I got a chance to play this and get my teeth sunk into it, but I can't recommend it. It's just not there yet, and I need to see these updates. So this is one thing. You should never buy a game based on potential. You should, by all means, support games that you believe in and you think will go the distance. I hope this game does go the distance, and I'm going to make more videos down the road of this game as we progress. It's the least I can do because I see the good in it. But for now, I just simply can't. I can't give it its due just yet. I think it wasn't the best timing, and I don't think it's ready for release. But that's my opinion. Okay, I highly suggest go and check out other people, see what they say. But for me, I will be playing this on and off until I can truly say, guys, they did it. So, anyways, hopefully this helps you guys. I'm not going to give it a rating because, again, I just don't know. I'll give it a... I don't know. I have no idea. I can't really give it a rating right now. Just know that... Just heed my words. It's not ready. It's not the Star Wars thing. It's not a trap. It's not a trap. I tell you that. It's definitely not a trap, but it's just not ready. So, anyways, thanks again, guys. Yeah, we'll go from there. Hopefully you did like this one, and I will see you in the next video. Dude, holy crap. Oh, we got it. We got it.
Nice.
Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Woo. Yeah, that was definitely the trick. Just each person on each point. Just do your best to defend, you know.